picked it up. Back from the break. That was a fairly well-known rhythm by Mr. John Bonham, 4 Sticks off the 4th album. But I'm not talking about that tonight. I'm talking about African drumming rhythms. So what's going on is that I am working on these kind of two-handed rhythms. In the last segment, I was talking about taking some Western-style rudiments, like the typical flam accent and flam tap that we should all know from our 40 pass rudiments, splitting them between 2 drums. Flam taps. So you can get lots of different things just from what you've already got in your practice armory, so to speak. Now let's talk about some of these great rhythms. As I said, in my grade 3 drum set manual, what I've got is on page 38, there it is there, African drumming rhythms, simple arrangements for 2 drums. Okay, let me sort of just read to you a little bit. At some point, every rhythm played has its history and heritage drawn from African foundations. African hand drumming and rhythms are considered sacred, and the drummers that play them are held in the highest regard. These age-old rhythms are central to the community and culture they derive from, and are integral to the dances, rituals and festivities of the community. An African drum called a djembe is arguably the most popular of African drums. Its name is loosely translated to gather together, which is what is most important. Gathering together to play music and dance. Now the djembe has 3 main sounds, or any hand drum has 3 main sounds. You have the bass sound, where you would play in the middle of the drum. You have the tek and the ka, if we're talking about more Middle Eastern, but you actually have your normal taps. And then when you make an accent, of course that's a slap, that kind of thing. Tek or ka. And what I've tried to do is, with the book at least, I've really just made it between the floor tom and the snare drum. Okay, so but what I'm doing here is, of course, bringing it around to different parts of the drum kit here. So that's what we have here. Now all the rhythms that I've got written come from countries that we know about in sometimes the wrong way, because there's lots of, the region has been in a lot of trouble, of late, sort of thing. We've got places like Mali, Senegal, Ghana, Togo, to name a few. There's, places like Rwanda and Burundi and, Uganda and all that. We know these names for different reasons, but the culture of drumming in those countries is very, very rich, and that's what I want to draw on, is the complete positive and the wonderful nature of what goes on here. These rhythms can become very complex, and one of the little kinds of things that you can do is, of course, the polyrhythm and the polymeter, which I talk about a lot on the show because that's integral to the drums. But one of the things, and it's even on my computer, you can just sort of get an African drum sound, number 23 or something, is a 5/4. And what a 5/4 polyrhythm is one hand's playing in 5, the other's playing 4. The common denominator, 5 times 4 is 20. Do the math. The 4 is derived from every 5 counts, and the 5 is derived from every 4 counts. Boom. That goes to all our Western stuff. I know that fairly well from the work of Frank Zappa, all through the 90s. And I played a lot of Frank Zappa music, and probably the most revered and most treacherous little piece of music is the Black Page for drummers, and that has it in it. You have nested polyrhythms inside, you know, 5s and 4s, you know, and so on it goes. So that's something there. Now, I'm a bit hooked up with my stuff here. Let me get it right. Okay, now where am I? Excuse me 1 second. Technical glitches with my leads. There we go, much better. I haven't even named any rhythms yet. It's halfway through the show. Aconcon is the first one. Very wonderful little rhythm. These are pretty much, I've got them written in alphabetical order. They're all important. They come from different regions and all that. And what I've done here is, I think I mentioned the snare drum before. I'm sorry, I misquoted my own book. It's floor tom and high tom. Now, when we take the idea of two-handed rhythms and counterpoint, what starts to happen is that you start to get different rhythms happening. So this is the Aconcon right hand only, right? See? Now if I count it out, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 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 1. The left hand is 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 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 Put them both together. Something like that anyway. There you have that. Okay. Akiwowo is the next one. There's a wonderful little clip of some lovely ladies, African choir, a group of ladies who sing, and the song is called Akiwowo, and it's very easy to get. You just put in Akiwowo, and I think it's one of the first things that comes up on YouTube, I think. And once again, you've got a fairly straight ahead kind of floor tom pattern. Yeah. Oh, what drum should I use? Oh, I'll stick to floor tom. So it's 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and that's pretty much where our Latin bass drum comes from. But I'll leave Latin for another day. If I put my left foot over on my other bass drum, that's it there. And the left hand this time is 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Not unlike a mambo or a, you know, a form of a samba or some such thing. I think more probably a mambo, probably. But you've got this. I'll step through it very slowly. Both right, both left, right, both right, left, right, both left, both right. Bit tricky to sort of say it, but it comes out like this. And that's it there, you see. Now, did you notice at the end of that, there's a good old flame tap. And that's my point. These rhythms derive from the great culture of African drumming, where drumming and drummers are revered in their communities, okay? Laugh if you will. And what happens is that this kind of thing I'm treating with the utmost respect. This music is so pervasive throughout the world. It's wonderful, sort of thing. And to embrace this kind of music, I mean, just goes towards, you know, things like healing in the community, you know, that kind of stuff. And this ugly scourge of racism sometimes. How can you, you know, like people who embrace these rhythms, things like that just peel away. We're all just love this rhythm. So it's, you know, the people who bring these rhythms to our country, I mean, it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful, rich stuff, you know. So anyway, more of this after the break, and that is called the Akiwowo. Okay, there you go.